The mission of the National World War II Museum is to tell the story of the American experience in World War II. You could argue that World War II was the most important event in human history. We are rapidly approaching a time when there will no longer be first-person survivors from the war that the public can engage with, and I think that really means that we become the storyteller. It brings an even greater importance to our work and our mission. We just did the public dedication for the Bollinger Canopy of Peace. This is the beautiful architectural statement that towers above our campus. This is a 500-foot long, 150 feet in the air sculpture that sits above the Battle Barksdale parade grounds and really is an element that we think puts our museum on an international stage. We think this is one of the great museums in the world, telling one of the most important stories, and we wanted there to be an iconic feature that identified our campus and identified the museum and its mission. It's lit up at nighttime, and next Veterans Day we will also launch a brand new sound and light experience called Expressions of America that will not only use the Bollinger Canopy of Peace, but it will use the facades of the buildings on our campus to create this dramatic nighttime sound and light experience using 3D projection mapping, using archival footage. Gary Sinise will be the host. So imagine coming to our campus at nighttime and being in an outdoor theater in the round, surrounded by the images and the voices of the men and women that served in this really big dramatic tapestry that will use the buildings as well as the Bollinger Canopy. So Liberation Pavilion will essentially complete the permanent exhibitions on our campus. It will pick up the story of the war near the end of the war. Visitors will be taken through the atrocities of the Holocaust. They will have an understanding really of where the world was when the war was over and get a real sense of the cost of our victory. But the Liberation Pavilion will also really tell the story of freedom, democracy, and hope. We think that's an important story to tell. It brings relevance to our mission, 80 years after the fighting was over, and it'll really, I think, help our visitors understand, what we were fighting for, what were the decisions that were made at the conclusion of the fighting, and what is the legacy of World War II.